It is 9 a.m. right here in Los Angeles. It is Monday, the 2nd of February, AD 2026. And we're going to have a fun show. You know, we'll see what happens. You can call in. You're welcome to call in. 888-77-JESSE, Jesse. I'm on JLP's network, as you all know. And sweet, appreciate it. Your calls and your super chats, your support. The views expressed here do not represent Hake, Bond, JLP, Anchor Baby, Derek. I don't even represent myself, if you can believe it. Our greatest president is not what you guys are claiming that he's into. It's ridiculous. You people, man. I'm talking about the Epstein conspiracy believers or whatever. Get out of your heads. All right? It's kind of like interpretation. No. No need. Much grass. Many thanks. Muchas gracias. JLP offered to turn on the AC for me. Wow. But anyway, yeah, calm down, y'all. It's kind of like, don't believe your thoughts, you know? Don't believe your interpretation. Don't believe what you think that don't even believe what I'm saying. Of course. You don't even know. You don't know what I mean. A lot of times I'm joking, and a lot of times I'm not joking. And it's that it's sort of a confusion that does occur at times, produced by me. So pardon me for causing confusion. Bear with me. All right. I'm live on is it Punchy TV? Am I live there? Yep, punchy.tv. And of course other platforms, Facebook, Pilled, YouTube. What's up, y'all? Thor Mode, Frank Rizzo. A great mayor, I heard, was Frank Rizzo. Back when, was it Philadelphia? For some reason, he told me, a while back, he told me to look up the real one. I don't think it's the real one, because I think the real one has died. The original Frank. And nice. Not that it's nice that he died, but, you know, that's what happens most of the time. People end up dying. American Anchor Baby will be live, y'all. He is scheduled, okay? He is set to be live here. And I will read your coffees on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. I did see them. Look, Beverly Hills. Did you know I'm walking distance here? Right here where I sit. I can walk, and within less than 10 minutes, I can be up there in Beverly Hills. La Cienega Park, I think that's called. Very nice. Nice soccer field. They're fixing it up or whatever. Sweet. I see some of you guys are already on hold. I do have coffees to read, y'all. But anyway, everybody, let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how y'all doing? I'm fine. Just taking my little walk. Walking fast. Oh, that's because it's wide angle. It's not really walking fast, but at wide angle, it looks like you're walking fast. When you're, cool trick, record at wide angle and it looks like you're walking faster than you really are. See that? Cool. Anyway, you're welcome to call in. Some of you already on hold. I would like to get to your calls. Jermaine in Canada on the line over here. Jermaine, thank you for calling, sir. What's up?
Hello, James. How are you?
Fine. How about you?
I'm doing well, sir. 007 sharpshooter who never misses.
Thank you, sir.
Nice. So I'm calling. You know, on the weekend, I was reflecting a little bit here. And for me, I'm more of an anime watcher if I watch anything because movies are so hard to watch.
And you're black. You're black. You're a younger millennial. You're like on the younger side of. I mean, you're solidly millennial. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. See, black people watch anime nowadays. Younger side. Yeah. Just for the boomers, you know, the anime is the Japanimation, or Japanese cartoon series, soap opera-esque thing.
Yeah, nowadays movies just don't do it. And if I'm gonna watch a movie, it's gonna be like late '90s, you know, early '90s. Those, especially like the Rambos and those action-packed movies.
Oh, okay.
Those are good.
Yeah, nice.
But in the animes, I've noticed, right? You know, the guy or the female, they were born in a village or in a nation, and you know, because the nation is, let's say, it doesn't do them or treat them the way they should be treated, they resent them for it, and they leave like the nation or village they grew up in to go get power because they want to destroy the nation because the nation didn't treat them how they should be treated. And then they go out there seeking power, and they may gain it, right? And then they end up finding new allies with them, right? And the new allies will feed them these lies and give them more power too, just so they can go back and destroy the nation or village they grew up in.
Wow.
And they're not realizing that. And the person that gives them the power hates the nation and village too, but they're using this one guy to, you know, do a little damage or to make their plan move a little bit faster so they can destroy the village or nation, because now it's a common goal. But what they're not realizing, that they're being used by that ally that they think is their friend, and that's helping them to achieve their goal. And in the end, they end up dying because the nations fight against them and end up killing them. Or in the end, the ally would be like, well, you've used your purpose, now I'm going to use your body or take your power for myself. And they end up figuring out, oh, I was just being used by this guy. He didn't even care about me or love me. He just wanted me to do his bidding for him until he got what he wanted or got to where he wanted, and then it's just going to discard me. And it's a full circle of how Jesse talks about evil, bigger evil controlling smaller evil, but it's just crazy to see it, right?
Yeah.
So I was pandering about that on the weekend, and I'm like, it's the same thing happened everywhere in the world.
You were pondering about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, it's the same thing happening in the world and to everyone in the world when you actually think about it. So that was my little thing there for today.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's kind of like the hating the parents thing.
Yeah, it's that same hate and judgment
that
caused them to go nuts. Like the like that son leaving the father in the Bible and go his own ways, but he end up coming back. But in some case, a lot of people don't end up returning. They get lost and get destroyed.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
prodigal son. And
Oh yeah.
and you're right. That's why the father celebrated so much when he returned home.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. So
The-
anime is deep and kind of Christian, or is it? Or it's
the-
just deep, not Christian necessarily.
it's so complex though, because the writing is like fantasy, right? So some
Yeah.
of it doesn't make sense, but in your head you will try to make sense of it, but
Yeah.
you should not try to make sense of it
Right.
because it's complex. Yeah,
Right on.
because some of it is about you controlling evil, but you can't control evil. So, and you use that evil power to get more power, but it's a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
All
Thank
right,
you for
man.
your contribution there, Jermaine.
Yes, sir. You have a good show like always, man.
Thanks, sir.
All right, bye.
Bye. Cultural enrichment. Very nice. Meade, speaking of culture, Meade in Richmond, VA, Virginia. Meade, thank you for calling, sir.
Hi there. Hi. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, well, thanks for taking my call. I want to call in about, I'm very sad about a passing of a wonderful person, and his name was H.K. Edgarton. He was a proud black Confederate, and he went all around with activism to defend our monuments and the Confederate flag, and he passed away most recently, I think on January 18th, which ironically was the day before Robert E. Lee's birthday.
Wow.
Yes, and he actually had been on the NAACP, and he said he was in there, and he said, well, this he realized they were just nothing but communists, so he left that, and then he advocated for his Confederate heritage. He's a descendant of Confederate veterans.
Wow.
And yeah, he was from North Carolina. I just wanted to bring that up because I don't know if you're familiar with him or people in your audience, but he just did so many wonderful things on educating people about the Confederate flag and the monuments, and he really did, his life's work was doing that. And of course, he got a lot of criticisms from the Negro people, but he was very much he was so knowledgeable about all the history. So I just want to share that. Have you ever heard of him before?
I had heard of Harold Kenneth, or H.K. really, H.K. Edgerton. I had heard that name before, but I would not have, and I knew that he was black.
Uh-huh.
I think, right? But
Yeah.
I don't think I really knew that he was a pro-Confederate.
Mm-hmm.
The Wikipedia refers to him as a American Southern civil rights activist known for his defense of the Southern Confederate cause
Mm-hmm.
and the Confederate battle flag. That one with that really cool looking one. They take away all our coolest looking symbols.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
they just look awesome. Meanwhile, they get to have cool looking stuff.
Oh my goodness!
You know,
I think this is my personal opinion, but the transgender flag is just the ugliest flag I've ever seen.
Oh, I was referring to like Antifa symbols and communist symbols.
Yeah.
I know that the LGBT flag is communist too, but you're right. That is ugly, and they've polluted it with a black and brown and all kinds of different things.
Anyway, I always wanted to meet him in person, but he spoke. I was a member of a group in the Sons of Confederate Veterans, and he spoke at our local chapter. And he went all around. He went up to Boston. He went, beyond the South to, he went in the, what they call, I forgot what they call it, the Denzian of hell, to share, to tell people what it all means. And a lot of people don't realize that the most contested battle flag, I think I brought this up before, but the one that we like, the Army of Northern Virginia battle flag, was based on the cross of St. Andrew. That's why it's in the shape of an X.
Okay.
And it's a Christian flag. So when people go against it, when people are really hating it, they're really hating Christian symbols, and that's it's very interesting because it is very contested. Our own American flag, the Stars and Stripes, has nothing to do with Christianity. It's a very secular, very kind of mundane, kind of generic flag, but the beautiful flag of the Army of Northern Virginia was a Christian flag. And that's one of the things he taught people. And he was there when they those students, remember when they tore down the monument at, I think it was UNC, and he was there to confront them, or he came there later. And of course they didn't treat him very nicely. But there's a very funny picture of a white guy holding a Black Lives Matter flag, and then H.K. Edgarton is across from holding the beautiful Confederate flag in Confederate uniform. It's very funny. It's a meme. So I just want to share that. I think I assume you probably heard of him, and I didn't know if Jesse Lee Peterson has ever met him or heard of him, but that would have been an interesting interview.
Yeah.
If they could have interviewed each other. Also, I'm calling from the now Commiewealth of Virginia, where they want to impose 50 new taxes on the general public, including a tax on dry cleaning. They want a tax on dog walking, gym memberships, you name it. They want to tax it. So I don't know what we're going to do, but we're led by a communist, my state. Basically, we were taken over. So.
Wow. So you're going to have a tax on dog walking?
That's right.
That's weird.
A tax on, the list is just outrageous. Like the tax on, I'm surprised they don't have a tax for going to the bathroom. It's it's everything you can imagine. They want to tax it. 50 new taxes. Tax on deliveries like Amazon, Uber Eats. They want to raise the state income tax from 7% to 13%, which would be the highest in the nation. Or I think a property tax, maybe, I think. So, and the lady, of course, the spam burger lady ran on affordability. That was their mantra. They say, we want affordability. We're moderates. We want unification. And 500,000 Republicans didn't show up to the polls, and this is what we're dealing with now. And I don't want to be like a black-pilled person, but I think once you go blue, I don't know if there's ever, if you can ever come back from that.
Yeah.
Like California blue.
Right.
But we would be the California of the East.
Totally.
I don't know if you've heard of how bad they are, but they want insane bills here. And the people are already upset. Like the Democrats that voted for her are already upset, but they were low information, low IQ voters.
Yeah.
And they don't really read between the lines, and that's what you end up with. But anyway, I just want to share that. I don't know if do y'all have a tax in California for dog walking?
Well, so I'm looking up this thing. I think it has to do with people who are dog walkers and pet grooming services. They're explicitly listed in this proposed new taxes, proposed legislation as of January 26th per Google AI. Not that that's necessarily accurate. Over 50 new tax proposals. We probably do. I don't know. I don't disclose whether or not I own a dog or use a dog walker as opposed to walking a dog if I have one myself. But I'm not familiar with whether we have taxes on that. They have taxes on everything. I was overhearing, speaking of taxes just in general and how ridiculous they are. I overheard Bill, our engineer, talking about how the California politicians, back when gas prices dropped for some particular reason, and at the very moment that the gas prices dropped, Californians had already been used to expensive gas, and so the politicians hiked the taxes way up so that the price of gas would remain the same expensive price, rather than drop to like $1 or $2, so that the people wouldn't really notice the drop in gas prices, and they would just keep on paying. But all of that new cost was the taxes on the gas, so they wouldn't the suckers who don't really pay attention, like us, like me, wouldn't really notice, and we just keep on paying our usual high-priced gas, but it's all taxes. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people are ignorant about it. I had no idea when I was younger. I had no idea about all the legislation that goes through and all the subcommittees and all that.
Yeah.
And so they encourage people, like the Republicans here, encouraging people, please go to these subcommittees and make your voice heard. But I don't think they're going to listen to their constituents if they're already doing this. So I don't know what to do, but I'm stuck here because I can't afford to move. So I'm just stuck here with high taxes and anyway. But well, the Lord put me where I am, just like He put you in California. He put me here, so I'm going to fight for it.
Okay. I wish you well, man. Make sure that you save your money so that you can, live responsibly, so you can manage well.
All right. Well, take care. Thank you for taking my call. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye. Interesting to know what's going on in the world, right? A little bit. Let's hear from Alex in California. Alex, thanks for calling, man.
Hake Bear.
Hey.
I don't know what these other guys are yammering on about, but today is the Epstein Report.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, today is the Epstein Report?
Should be, right?
Yeah, it should be, because there's a whole lot of gossip and rumors going on around. I hear.
Yeah. So I want to get your take after mine.
Cool.
Just catching my breath. Sorry.
No worries.
More winded. Caffeine and an adrenaline rush from traffic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not a good mix.
When I read Hake News and after I've drunk caffeine, I notice that I'm kind of out of breath and a shallow breath. It's weird.
All pumped up, nervous talking to Hake here.
Yeah.
Oh, and a real quick caveat. I feel like I can relax around Derek.
Yeah. He's
it's
chill.
Rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you got that one there, but.
Oh yeah. That's that too. Not just that he's chill, but he's black. But you can relax around him. He's white on the inside,
Correct.
I guess. Nice.
So yeah, the Epstein stuff. To me, it's like half truth. I was just thinking on the way here, it almost feels like a high school scrapbook where everybody put their their bad stuff in there, and some of it's true, some of it's not, and it's a big mess. I mean, obviously everybody's like seemingly more focused on like the child stuff, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not really like too fascinating or crazy. It's pretty. I mean, that's been going on forever. But the satanic stuff and the cannibalistic, like the more extreme kind of stuff, is what I was looking for.
Okay.
Because it's all kind of old at this point. If you're familiar, it's probably at least 10 years old now, maybe older than that.
Yeah.
But like I've gone down the rabbit hole with this stuff, and I'm kind of looking for patterns with the satanic ritual abuse stuff, and I'm seeing some. So I think there might be quite a bit of the stuff that is real. But at the same time, it's like, why would Trump have this stuff released when some of that stuff in there is about him, and it's like really wild gay stuff, and it seems very fantastical and hoax like you said.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I mean, what do you grasp out of that?
I haven't looked into it at all, but from what I hear from sources that I trust, when I say sources, I mean like journalists, like Michael Tracy, who's a liberal independent journalist who basically poo-pooed the whole thing. And then I know that you had said, a couple months ago, you said, rich guys sleeping with 17-year-olds, not really that exciting to me. Not really that outrageous.
Right.
to
Well,
me.
we all kind of agreed on that, but
Yeah.
it does seem like there's actual children now. I mean, there's pictures of little kids now, so I kind of have to
Okay.
eat our words a little bit. But
Okay.
yeah, sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with. I haven't kept up with it at all, but there's another guy who's interesting to me. He was on my show, Jockle. He's deep left Jockle, and I saw him writing about it on his Substack, and he's basically calling it anti-Jewish, right-wing Jewish propaganda, basically.
Yeah, I knew someone was gonna say that.
It's interesting that
It's all a coincidence that everybody in there is allegedly Jewish.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, the anti-Semitism is just outrageous these days in general. I think there's a lot of coincidences, but
You're talking about the the claims of anti-Semitism, the accusations of anti-Semitism is crazy, or what do you mean by?
yeah, it's just too out of control these days in general. So I'm just going to avoid that
Oh yeah,
altogether.
true.
But yeah, I've just noticed, like, if you do any research into just satanic ritual abuse on its own,
Okay.
not like Epstein stuff,
Yeah.
there are parallels that line up. So I think there's some stuff that might be credible, but it
Okay.
just
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of it seems pretty fantastical, and I had to kind of give it a break after some Lindsey Graham stuff. You might hear about it, but
Oh.
I don't know, man. Gay people are on some really wild stuff, and
Very
I
true.
just can't get into that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
LGBT. Y'all are wild.
Yeah, it's kind of like straight people joke around gay, like they play gay, like they'll joke gay stuff. Guys will. And then it's like the gays, they joke and play pedo. I
Well,
think.
not even that. They do, like, they're more into like filth, but it's just
Yeah.
like what we would joke about is not
Right.
even like kindergarten level for them. So
Yeah.
yeah, not into it. And I don't know. Like I said, more into the satanic stuff just because I find that stuff more fascinating.
Okay.
Wasn't into reading a bunch of wild gay Jewish escapades.
Yeah.
If you're not
Okay.
prepared for that, be careful.
Okay.
All right, and I think that was pretty much all I had for today.
So some of it is real in your best analysis.
As far as
Cursory.
the terrorization of children, allegedly to get chemicals, and the some of the rituals that were described are allegedly real, parallels to other stuff I've researched.
Yeah.
But in the end, all this stuff could be a big mind fluff.
True.
We could be getting our chains jerked because it's not like we haven't been lied to our entire lives about everything. So it's, all of a sudden this is true. So I don't know.
Thanks, man. Thanks for your input on that.
Yep. All right. Y'all have a good day.
You as well, Alex. Take care. Pardon that watery, rattly audio there. I don't know, but I don't think that was on his end. That may have been on our end. Let me read some of these super chats, y'all. If we mosey over to buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. Hey, I am remiss. Speaking of super chats, I missed this one from YouTube. Toward the end of a Friday's show. Remember I spoke with that flat earther Rob from NorCal? Shout out Rob. Rob in NorCal told me about and had me play that Instagram thing. Let's see if I have that in my saved stuff. Let's see here. If I go to home, how do I'm such a boomer, Am I able to more saved? Hopefully I didn't save anything bad. Okay. I want to play this just to refresh y'all's memories. Let's see. Let me refresh it and unmute.
2021, a group of flat earthers went out with lasers to the Great Salt Lake to scientifically determine whether a large body of water curves at the rate of 8 inches per mile squared, as required by the globe model, or whether large bodies of water at rest are indeed flat. 2 sites were chosen. One group was located at the corner of Antelope Island at these coordinates. The other group was located at the south side of the Great Salt Lake at these coordinates. The total distance between the 2 points was 21 miles. The globe model predicts that at a distance of 21 miles at 8 inches per mile squared, 21 times 8 inches divided by 12, you get a curvature drop of 294 feet.
Wow.
You can verify the same amount with several online calculators, including this one and this one.
Awesome.
But to determine how much should be hidden behind the Earth's bulge, you must include the laser height of 5 feet. Accordingly, under the globe, either observer would have to be on a tower 222 feet high, like this one, standing on top of the beacon at the very top to see the bright source of the laser 21 miles away if we lived on a globe. Shockingly, the bright sources of the laser were seen by both groups at both sides of the lake at approximately 5 feet above the water. The flat Earth was confirmed and filmed by both parties. On January 16th, 2021, a group of flat earthers went out with lasers to the Great...
That can pause it, right? Does it pause? Look how pretty, by the way. Very cool footage. Thank you, Rob and NorCal. But this can easily be debunked by Taylor L. in the YouTube Super Chat on Friday for the Hake Report, 10:50 a.m. Pacific time, Pacific Standard Time, which is GMT -7, right? No, GMT -8. Greenwich Mean Time -8 hours. The reason the laser was not obstructed in the Salt Lake test is because of atmospheric refraction. If it isn't in a vacuum, light will bend, says Taylor Langley. And I disclaim, of course, I don't know whether this is true or false, what Taylor L. is saying, but he may be right. By the way, is that dog from like Tom and Jerry? Brutus or whatever that dog is? That's a cool dog, bulldog thing. Bulldogs used to look so cool, at least in cartoons. Until I found out that in like real life, they're not that tough looking. They're like, German Shepherds are more awesome. Although their faces are cool though, the bulldogs' faces. Anyway, the interesting man, huh? A big old barrel-chested cartoon dog, bulldog. And I don't know, I think, and I wonder whether gravity bends light as well. Does gravity bend light? I would ask the AI, but I don't want to waste too much time. I got yelled at, so to speak, in the Anchor Baby Live chat after Friday's Hake Report by none other than William III, who did not appreciate my wasting precious time debating the obvious globe against a flat earther. And C-Bill says, nothing personal, hate or hake, but the flat earthers are losers. There is more important pressing issues. Beta, says C-Bill. Thank you, sir. Or is it ma'am? It's ma'am. Very nice. So thank you to the belated response on the flat earth propaganda. And I'll get to more of your super chats, but I did mention none other than William III, and I do believe I see him on the line here. Let me go to William III. Is that you?
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Yeah, it's me.
Good to hear from you, sir.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys, and this is like this is the third time you. I mean, it's fine. It's your show.
Thanks,
I'm gonna tell you something, man. These dudes are retarded. Okay, they actually think they found something out. The Earth is not flat. You need a job or a hobby. One of them had a kid in the background last week. It was ridiculous. We got a lot of news to report, and a lot of things been going on, and flat Earth ain't one of them.
Nice. I accept the constructive criticism, sir.
Did not say if you don't want to come to work, just call in. I'm just sitting here watching you do this, dude. I don't understand it. But let's get to some news, because
Okay.
I wanted to point something out to you. The Democrats shoot themselves in the foot a lot. You do remember in your history books that there was some little girls bombed in a church in Alabama. I think it was 1962 or 3.
Yeah,
Right.
I heard
And
that.
this Don Lemon thing, I don't think this is over with. I think some of the Democrats' own laws and bills they passed may come back and haunt them, because I don't think this is over with for Mr. Lemon.
Okay.
Because, as you know, when you mess with churches, ever since those girls got killed, it has been passed that if you mess with churches, that's an automatic felony.
Whoa. And you know what? White people, those were black people a black woman and, of course, Don Lemon, who terrorized, if you'll forgive my use of the dramatic term, the church. Black people are much louder, more raucous than white people are used to in a white church. They will yell at each other, and they don't mean anything by it necessarily. And it's so stressful for us white people, you know, or at least people like me and
I understand.
some of those churches.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm not used to that, but
Right.
I mean, it just goes probably what religion you're affiliated with and everything. They all worship differently, and
Yeah.
I respect everybody.
Same.
I mean, it's, you know, but we're not looking at this thing from what it really is, because I've seen him get released, and him and Karen Bass were out there with
He got Don Lemon got a standing ovation, I heard, or something like that at the Grammys.
Yeah, it was all set up, just like Obama deported many more people. But the difference is that they didn't say anything because they got cooperation from the local authorities and the police in these different cities. That's why nobody even said anything when Obama deported all those people.
Yeah.
But see, they set this up before the midterms to not cooperate with federal agents, so that they can create all of this mayhem on the streets. I don't know what the desire is to standing in 10 below zero, getting thrown in the ice by the agents. I don't understand that. You want these illegals here that bad?
Ridiculous. Commies. Useful. Pardon me, kids. Don't say idiots, but useful idiots. For communism.
Well, see, this is something new to you guys. And I've seen this play before. When they did that in the 60s with the hippies and the Vietnam War and everything, and they made it unpopular and all of that stuff. Mark might know a little bit more about this stuff. I know my dad was in the Marines.
Pardon me.
That's
That was a
okay.
mistake.
I know my father was in the Marines, and I asked him a question later in life because I overheard him talking with other soldiers playing poker one night, and they were speaking about the Canadians. The Vietnam War, America was the biggest forces over there, but there was a lot of other countries helping. And I remember distinctively them talking about Canada not helping, turning their back on America.
Wow.
And those were soldiers that had a different opinion than a civilian. You know, they kind of looked at that like, you know, during World War II. They had to jump on the bandwagon or else. If they have a World War III, if China and Canada, well, let's put it this way. If China deals with Canada, that'll be the demise of them. And if there were a big conflict like that again, Canada would be the first to get destroyed if they affiliate themselves with China. But I don't know how far that's going to go, because China's been getting kicked out of a lot of countries, including some countries over in Africa.
Canada has been kicked out of African countries?
No, China.
Oh, China. Oh, okay.
China's been getting thrown out of a lot of places.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing in their billions with their, they're bringing stuff into different countries that need it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to play out good for those countries, because China's economy is not that good. The people are not doing all that good. A lot of those buildings you see over there are empty, so we'll see. We just got to wait and see what happens and everything. Have the blacks killed anybody this past weekend?
Well, I would assume so. Isn't that standard operating procedure over a weekend that's warm? Is it warm, or is it too cold to kill?
Well, yeah. Let me tell you something about black people, since you're so fascinated by them. They have three things: sunshine, barbecue sauce and malt liquor, somebody gonna die.
Huh.
Because good weather brings out what? Hanging out.
Right. Yep.
And hanging out brings bodies.
Yeah.
Now, you might have some people call in and argue that, but I think it's fact. It's in front of our face.
Yeah, even the liberals admit that.
Yeah. So this fraud that's coming, investigations are coming to California. I understand that they're bigger than Minnesota and California.
I would think so. I mean, I know that Somalis are a little bit different from Latinos, if you will, but Latinos are maybe a higher IQ or whatever, but they're still kind of dishonest per capita.
They've been here longer, illegal or not. And
True.
I don't like the way people play word games. These migrants, these are not migrants. These are illegals, and their protection status has been ended like a month ago. So we'll see, right?
Yep.
We'll see. But
that 5-year-old guy, that 5-year-old kid. I was asking the AI if he was illegal, and they claim that he entered illegally with his father to across, a port of entry, and presented themselves for asylum seeking from I forget where, but one of those countries that is not a real legitimate refugee status place, So it's propaganda. They're gaming the system. These people are, and it's evil.
Oh, big time.
Yeah,
big time. And I do also. I find it to be very much so like a freak to sit up there and want to know what's all in these Epstein files.
Yeah,
I just don't find this stuff interesting. It's like you got to be really bored. I mean, who really cares?
Yeah.
I mean, I think what it is they just really want Trump to be involved with
that. Is why the media is covering it, because they ignored it. They ignored it during the time when it was Jeffrey Epstein, the Democrat donor, and a bunch of Democrats and liberals and people like Bill Gates, who were being named. I don't know if Bill Gates was named that early, but yeah, and I know that there's like potential blackmail of Democrats and Republicans, but it's silly. People do go overboard, like Alex in California said. A lot of it is just half truths. It's people just saying stuff, and people saying stuff is not evidence.
Right.
Accusations are not evidence. But people don't understand
that. No, not at all. Yeah. Not at all. It's just like, I just feel, this is just my personal opinion, there's just a lot more going on that's more important.
Right. Real life, present day.
Yeah, than Epstein files. And definitely we got more business to take care of than this flat earth thing. You flat earthers, you're just like the global warming people. It turned out to be fake. They think that they're going to be some kind of high up in the flat earth department, so they're going to get a head start. It is no head start. There's no flat earth.
Yeah.
We did have an event last month, didn't we, where the moon and the sun lined up with Earth and the seas rose? And we got those remember those king tides we got?
Vaguely. Yeah.
A little bit of gravity there. I mean, look, you go to Hawaii, sometimes you go across the Pacific, but I've been out there where they didn't go across the Pacific. They went up and around. So you want to explain that, flat earthers?
You raise an interesting point about gravity. You mentioned gravity. And I was watching this video about a magnet. This guy made a guitar and he linked the strings together with very, very strong magnets. So the strings were not physically really even attached, unless you want to call magnetism physical.
And the force
to the guitar's body.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. And magnetism is like baffling to me. I don't understand how magnets work. And similar with gravity, I don't understand it. But
You see what they do when you put two together, right?
Oh, you can't even tear them. You can't even take them apart. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But you familiar with Bill, the engineer, the co-host of Punchy, under a sub co-host, if you will. He told me, or I overheard him say, that gravity makes the oceans and bodies of water move towards the land and build up higher towards the land, whereas it's lower further out. So the surface of the water is actually higher, and it goes higher towards the mountains themselves. Pull your gravity
pulls them towards land.
Yeah, it's like straight up and down. It leans a little bit more towards. Anyway, it's crazy.
These waves travel through the ocean, right? But so when I guess it gets a little different when it gets towards land. That's where you get those waves.
Yeah,
because it can't continue.
Right, of course,
unless it's a tsunami.
Yeah, awesome.
But I don't think this flat Earth thing is just a new thing, just like that. Global warming, it turned out to be not true. It's I think they really pretty much determined what the Earth was. That was Galileo. I don't know. It's been a long time, but they come up with this stuff, and then you getting some calls too. I've noticed from some illegals that are sitting up there begging and pleading that they should be able to stay. I don't know where you get that from. You got to go. And Trump, no, you got to go. They say, don't you think we should do it differently instead of going in the streets? The answer to every last one of you that have called and sat up there and played that game, I'm talking to you. This is William. The answer is no. We don't need no better way to arrest you because you're resisting and you're running. So that's why it's becoming rough and getting thrown around in the streets because the Democrats set that up. They're not having the local authorities cooperate, and that's what put you guys in the streets. And understand, a whole bunch of illegals got arrested last weekend in Los Angeles because didn't they attack the federal facility downtown?
I hadn't really heard, but I did hear that people did get arrested, and Karen Bass mentioned something to that effect about you guys got to behave yourselves, otherwise the feds are going to come in. She's a little concerned. She has a balancing act to deal with her fellow radicals, because she's a radical communist. And she's radical. Did you know anything about her history? I heard that she used to be like full-blown openly communist or something like that, or radical black. Yeah. She's affiliated with that woman that was in Cuba. She's made trips out there. The woman that just recently died, who was the cop Black killer. Panther. The alleged cop killer, or convicted cop killer, whatever she was. Accessory. Right. Now, speaking of that, weren't we just talking about the fake Black Panther, new Black Panther Party? Yeah. Were we talking about that last week? Yeah, I remember you mentioned that. Remember what I told you about infringement title rights? Oh. See, little youngsters, you got Ronnie and stupid ass. What's his name? Keep it clean. What's his name? Hey, there's kids who listen to the show, man. I'm sorry, you ain't got no children, James. Yeah, I'm gonna watch my language. No, you don't. Thank you. Okay, so look, there's an infringement. This title rights to things. I can't go around and say or put something like, a logo of the Dodgers on the side of my car. You ever see that little A with the circle on it? The licensing. Anarchy one? The little symbol that be with logos, it's protection of that brand. Oh. And remember, we were talking about the Black Panthers. Now, see, your little black elite black callers don't know this. The Black Panther Party had problems with that same thing because the original Black Panthers was General Patton's mechanized 761st Division. Whoa, I didn't know that. They had title issues as well, but now going back to the Black Panthers, these guys are. Let's see, Bobby Seale is still alive. Huey Newton's gone. A lot of them are dead, ran off to Cuba,
or in federal prison. And this has been done before. The blackity black thing, Black Lives Matter, Symbionese Liberation Army, the Black Hebrew Israelites. This thing has been done before. And those Black Panthers in the 60s had similar issues with the original Black Panthers. Now this Black Panther Party I just told you about the other day, just like clockwork, they dropped the name. You know why they dropped the name? Those guys
Trademark.
up in Oakland, yes, those guys up in Oakland are in their mid 80s. All of them. I'm talking about the original Black Panther Party in Oakland, California, San Francisco Bay Area.
I got to wrap it up, William.
Yes, wrap it up. Those guys are in their 90s.
Huh.
Just think about that. So they changed their name just this weekend, this new Black Panther Party. Just want you to take a look at that.
Thank you,
I
sir.
knew they were going to have problems with that. Okay, man, take care.
All right. You as well.
All right.
Bye. Back quickly to the super chats before I get back to your calls. Greggatron says, hey, Hake, I made this for you and your people. Merry Christmas and happy birthday. Thank you. I'm a little confused why he says Merry Christmas. But I guess it's Christmas every day of the year. Per Lin Yen Chin, Christ is with us, right? And so here's Greggatron. The Bond music is like... And he also is wearing his never, ever, 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 never, 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 ever, 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 but never, ever tell a woman your problems. Oh, let me unmute. Never tell a woman your problems. Jesse Lee. Greggatron. Roughly the same size as Hake.
We gotta tell the truth. And the truth will defeat the lie. You can choose good or you can choose evil. You can choose good or you can choose evil. You gotta think for yourself. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. If not, it's your fault. I want to show you what evil look like. It has nothing left to offer. I want to show you what evil look like. Hell comes from the gates of hell. These are children of the lie. The children of the lie. Godless. These are children of the lie. The children of the lie. You can choose good or you can choose evil. You can choose good, you can choose evil. You gotta think for yourself. Think for yourself. Think for yourself. If not, it's your fault. I want to show you what evil look like. It's got nothing else to offer. I want to show you what evil look like. It's from hell. It's from the gates of hell. These are children of the lie. The children of the lie. Godless. These are children of the lie. The children of the lie.
Very nice, Greggatron.
Dun, 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 dun,
I don't understand how to make the... Oh, there it is. Oh, that's funny, Greggatron.
Somewhere in the world today.
All right. He's doing a whole medley. Thank you, sir. Very kind. Much appreciation for the support and the great energy he has there. At this point, just call me Mike. I was scrolling down your old videos and I saw something truly disturbing. For the sake of your channel, for your reputation, for your maybe future wife, and for the ladies and children unfortunate enough to watch at home, don't ever clean shave your beard. At this point, just call me Mike. Urges. Thank you, Mike. And Mike Coffees. Thank you, sir. He also says, oh no, Anthony says, I know, yeah, I shaved it for, I used to be clean shaven. I don't even really think of myself as having a beard. I don't. But I've had a beard for like 10, 12 years. because working here, I had late nights, early mornings, and didn't shave for a while. And so I got a beard, and I realized that if I just maintain my beard every week or two, if I'm really sloppy, it's easier than shaving every day because I have to shave every day. Otherwise, it looks, 5 o'clock shadowy, and it's just looks, used to be every other day. Anyway, so that's why I have this beard. And I never liked guys with beards. I never liked the look of a bearded person back in the 80s when I was growing up. If you had a beard, I didn't like you as much. Terrible. But now I have a beard. But it's okay. It's whatever. And people have remarked that when I get fat, my face gets fat. And it's not as attractive. There's fat people who have like defined faces. Shout out to them. Hake is not one of them. Anyway, thank you, Mike. And I had a soul patch too. Terrible. Anthony bought a coffee. Happy Monday, Hake. Indeed, everybody loves Mondays. You ought to anyway. Is it me or is it predominantly Americans who believe the earth is actually flat? That's an interesting question. I don't know. I used to say that there are no flat earthers down under, but there are. There are suckers everywhere. Shout out. My observation is that, oh, yes, shout out. No offense. We all are suckers. My observation is that Americans and generationally inbred Muslims believe this. Oh. Did you know around 150 BC, Eratosthenes, I need to find out the pronunciation, used geometry to calculate the circumference of the globe Earth. Wow. Awesome. The only thing a flat earther can prove is that government-funded education can be damaging to the youth. To be specific, my only explanation for this flat earth phenomena is that folks were so psychologically damaged in public school math classes that they literally created an alternate reality of a flat earth to cope with this childhood trauma of being a D or F student in 7th grade geometry class. Wow, 7th grade geometry. This young man is precocious. Anthony was a precocious young man. Interesting. God can create the most complex living organism we know of, human beings, with the most complex brain, but is incapable of creating an endless expanse of heaven for that brain to learn about? Nah, God just created a flat plane for your ape mind to chill in ooh, ooh, ah, 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 ooh, 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 ah, ah, ah. Ape noises. Only NASA holograms are capable of creating the imagery of an elaborate, endless heaven. In my opinion, IMO, Flat Earth is a demonic influence in which humans view God as a simpleton instead of an actual creator of godlike complexity. Shout out Flat Earthers. May you one day overcome praise Anthony. Let's hear how this is pronounced.
Eratosthenes.
Oh, Eratosthenes.
Eratosthenes.
Why can't you be a male voice? Let's hear it slow.
Eratosthenes.
And is there a British pronunciation? There used to be a drop down for. I wanted to hear how the Brits, the English, pronounce it. Ancient Greek philosopher and scholar. Eratosthenes. Cool. Thank you, Anthony, on FE. Anthony on FE. Very nice. Popcorn. Friday, I asked you about your reaction to the arrest of Don Lemon. You didn't have much time to react, but you said, I don't really have many thoughts on it. I'll tell you what I don't want is they do it to us, so we do it to them now, sort of a thing. I want true justice. And Trump is about true justice as opposed to revenge. I take your point. Let me ask you this. You've said on several occasions you are not in favor of the federal government getting involved in local matters, and you scoff at the idea of civil rights, indeed. So Don Lemon being arrested by federal agents and being charged with civil rights crimes over an incident that happened at a church in Minnesota. Surely you can't be in favor of that, or are you? This isn't a gotcha. I'm just genuinely curious about whether or not you're really against federal involvement in local issues or the pursuit of civil rights violations, or if it's more case by case and not a blanket, I'm against this mentality. I am against it. A blanket, I am against it type of a thing. But since Don Lemon is an enemy, I'm okay with it. Popcorn. Don Lemon, I was thinking Don Lemon, right? He is the liberals. Who's that guy at campaign finance? He is the namesake of our vice president's future son, who's going to be born. Son in the tummy of his wife, right? Son in the tummy, pregnant. She's pregnant with his boy. J.D. Vance. Dinesh D'Souza. Don Lemon is the liberals' apostrophe. Dinesh D'Souza. Because Dinesh D'Souza is a journalist, kind of like slash propagandist. He propagates truth or facts and normie sort of neocon-ish. Is he neocon? Analysis. And, you know, he produces documentaries. But we all know that documentaries are propaganda. They have a slant, of course. And Dinesh D'Souza is like is our Michael Moore. Dinesh D'Souza is our Michael Moore, and Don Lemon is their Dinesh D'Souza. And Dinesh D'Souza was persecuted by the Obama administration, DOJ, for a campaign. You know, he did some straw donations that he shouldn't have done, according to campaign finance law, in other people's names. Like, they donated and he paid them back, and you're not supposed to do that. And Dinesh, being an Indian, he breaks the law, you know, but for Republican people, I guess, whatever. And Don Lemon is on the side of the protesters against ICE, and white Christian churches are in favor of law enforcement generally. And there was a guy who may have been an ICE affiliated type of a person, and Don Lemon was asking about that stuff and claiming himself to be a Christian, and he seemed to be on the side, and they're calling it the FACE Act. And like I mentioned to William, I know I'm meandering a bit, rambling a bit. Is it rambling if I'm really interested in what I'm saying, though? Don Lemon, what did I start to say? Oh, black people are like loud, rambunctious, disruptive, you know, and especially the protester type black people. There are quiet black people, of course, but per capita, they tend to be loud and in your face. And I'm not for people being scared, you know, that shame on you if you're scared, if you scare easily. But women do scare easily, and children did too, and they were thinking it was like a literal terror attack. They were terrorized, terrified. That wasn't really the intention, I don't think, of these protesters who shouted and protested in the thing at the unsuspecting church. I don't like what they did. A crime. The local authorities, if they were decent, would do something about it. You know, that's what I say, popcorn. And I say that Trump is about true justice as opposed to revenge, but he sometimes says that he's about revenge. I don't know. It is interesting. His DOJ might be about revenge as opposed to Trump himself. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say to you there, popcorn. We'll see what happens. I don't have high hopes for the case against him. But you're not supposed to bring a case unless you really believe that you can win that case, you know? Popcorn on Don Lemon charges. Fed charges. Make a federal case out of it. Popcorn with another super chat. And then I'll get back to your calls. It's top of the hour, y'all. Popcorn says, I don't want to harp on this too much. I won't harp on this too much, but I wanted to ask you to expound a bit on your stance that someone like Mark or Jesse could be in favor of segregation by race and it actually be about character and not race. I think in the past, well, race kind of defines culture or is correlated very closely with culture. And for example, black people being of a different culture. And then also Satan playing on the minds of the people, knowing that Satan plays on the mind of a person, of two different people. Let's say I'm black, I'm white, and you're black, Popcorn. And you and I have a disagreement. Satan's going to play in my mind, and Satan's going to play in your mind. Oh, it's because I'm white, or oh, it's because I'm black. Oh, typical white person. And there's truth to that typical white person thing or typical black person thing. There is facts to that. Let's say you're loud, which you're not, but let's say you were loud. I'm like, you loud black person, typical black, too loud. And then you call me racist for that. But I'm right about that. And you're right that I've noticed that. And it's because we're different races and you call me racist for it, but it's because I have a different value of quietness to yours. And so it's about like what we prefer, and behavior wise, it fits better, it works better to stay separated a bit. You know, when God's children can't get along, God separates them. Well, I don't know if God did that, but when the parents of two young kids fight, you separate them. Anyway, I think in the past you've said something well. Some people see how black people act, character, and decide they don't want to be around them, so it's about character, not race. Yeah, I have said that, but there's like sensible black people, and they were more sensible back then, I heard. You guys specifically talk about character being an individual and being an individual all the time, and to me, nothing about that aligns with calling for the division of the races. How do you unite the races with truth, yet call for dividing the races? Unite in spirit, right? Yeah, unite in spirit, not physically. If Jesse goes to buy a house, his race, not his character, is what would preclude him from buying a house in a racially segregated society. But there are other opportunities there, Popcorn. You can buy a house elsewhere. In a twisted way, you say, well, if the character of some other people of his race are what preclude him from living here, that doesn't align with individuality. Yeah, but if you let one guy to the neighborhood, then another guy of poor character is going to come along. And then, because most people are of poor character, and they don't get along, whites and blacks, you know. How do you preach being an individual, then argue for policies that wouldn't even take your individual character into account? It does, though, in the fine things of actual justice, you know. I know there isn't segregation, but I'm trying to get you to see that talking about character and being an individual go out the window when you talk about dividing the races. Not so, Popcorn, not dividing good character from bad character, divided by race. Yes, you divide the good from the bad character too, though. That's called prison, hopefully, and jail, and chain gangs and things like that. I know it has shock value. That's not the reason that we say this. But you literally work in an environment every day with different races of people together. Yes, God's diversity versus Satan's diversity. Satan's diversity are the crowds out there in the streets. They're very diverse. And God's diversity is bond and the kingdom of heaven. Because there's, you know, like one out of every race at any given time. Maybe. Maybe not even. And there aren't any plans to change that. Seems to be working for you, says Popcorn. Right. Sort of. Nice. All right. That's good as far as the super chats go for now. Thank you, sir, on segregation and individuality, character versus race and race. Okay, so let me get to Art in Ohio. Art, thank you for calling and holding, sir.
Hey, what's up with Hake?
Not much. How about you?
Man, what's up with my man Hake, though, doggy dog?
All is well. Thank you for holding, sir.
Man, thank you for having me again, and Father God bless my brother, man.
Appreciate it.
Already,
and to you
man.
as well. Well wishes to you as well.
Already, man. When he hear that devil knocking, man, we ain't gonna let him in.
Shut the door. Keep out the devil.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Nice.
For shickety. But so check this out. So your man that just made that little thing about the character thing.
Yeah. Popcorn.
So this is my thing with the character thing. Okay. You can look at the blacks or whatnot and be like, most of them is messed up. Okay. So when you get a person like, let's use me as the example. I'm a conservative. I feel like I got the godly conservative traditional values. Me and Hake have a neighborhood or whatnot. We over here telling you liberals in California that California is gonna be a desert here in about the next 30, 40 years because they ain't investing in their infrastructure, in their citizens. They invest in illegals. So in my mind, I can imagine that 30 years from now, we in a technology boom, and most of these places, just like Florida and Texas, be real conservative. They are in that technology boom because they ain't caught on that flat earth, green, what's it called? Flat earth and what's the other thing dude just said? The last caller just said?
Global warming?
Global warming. So me and you, we seeing this. And we like, hey, California, y'all better get yourself together because, hey, me and Hake and the rest of the conservatives, we taking off, man, meaning that we ahead of the pack. We the lead, we the A+ students. So what we saying is with the character or whatnot, and even with the segregation. If you ain't talking right and acting right, we don't want you living around me and Hake. We don't care if you white, black, orange, purple. If you one of these people on the left or whatnot that you think that you can go outside and claim that you going to be a tree today and tomorrow you thinking you Kermit the Frog, we don't want you around us. Simple as that. We ain't feeling bad for you. We ain't going to force our beliefs on you. You ain't got to like my beliefs. You ain't got to like Hake's beliefs. But we ain't going to force our beliefs on you, and we don't want you around us. So this is another example. Just like, okay, yeah, blacks and whites should be able to go whatever school that they want to. But my problem is that you have more of a demographic of blacks that when they go into these schools, they don't want to learn. You see what I'm saying? And that's a character problem.
Yeah.
That's a character and at home problem. So we not going to force you to come to school. If you don't want to learn and you want to come to school and act like you ain't got no sense because of what society's propagandized you to be in your liberal city or what your mom has propagandized you to be in the household, we don't want you to participate. So it is about a race thing, but it ain't. Because I can say that about white people too. You go up to the west side of Columbus, Ohio, you got some ghetto white people or whatnot. Hey, yo, bro, this and bro, that, on gang in them, on giggity gang in them. White people talking. I don't want to live around them.
Yeah.
I don't want to live around them type of white people. I don't want to live around them type of liberal white people or whatnot. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it is about the race thing or whatnot too. But it's just like he said, it's really about the character too. We just conservatives, we just straightforward, no nonsense.
Yeah.
We ain't with the well, what about the white people? I mean, I say that, so I'm just saying. I'm sticking to the numbers.
It's also
about.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's also about the basic freedom to protect and to run your neighborhood as you please, and not have these outside forces say, no, you have to integrate, you have to sell this house to this type of person.
Thank you.
Yep.
Preach. That's what we saying. Yeah, there you go. Yep. And that's what I don't like about the civil rights movement. Did they try to force people? You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, you gotta accept these people into your schools. You gotta force and let these people come into your business. I get that, but if you come in with a bonnet, or you a white chick or a white dude just looking disheveled, and you coming in talking about, hey, on gang and them, man, make me a apple pie and some spaghetti and put me some sour cream on the side, on gang and them, on the hood, on my live homies. We don't want you in here. If you coming in there and we don't want you, and that's what I'm saying. They would try to make that a race thing instead of saying that that's a character thing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's my thing. That's my thing with that little situation with now. And then, the one caller, he always calling about the flat earth. I wouldn't have no problem with hearing a little bit about the flat earth from him.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like a one-trick pony, and I dang near feel like he's trying to basically subvert and dumb your show down. You see what I'm saying?
I understand.
Because it's like, man, bro, how I be talking and how, who is that, William, my main man, William, the last caller, how he be talking, we pretty much be trying to hit on all the little notes, and we dang sure ain't worried about no dang on flat earth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't need Bill Gates to tell me that global warming wasn't real, because I got enough common sense.
Fair enough,
you see
sir.
So check this out. So my thing is, and I don't want to beat dude over the head about the little flat earth thing or whatnot. My mindset is that as soon as Elon Musk or NASA come out, NASA get out their little liberal self's way, and they actually, I think I heard they actually don't got no pictures of the actual globe. I think that's from what I'm hearing. They don't actually have a picture of the real globe or whatnot. I ain't for sure.
I heard that we do, but
okay.
But you have to get really far away. You have to get like all the way to the moon. Well, I don't know. Yeah, we do have pictures of the globe, and then we also have like satellite pictures of the globe that are composites, because those satellite pictures are much closer. You can't. The globe is way bigger than your field of vision on just satellite height.
Well, I mean, they gonna have to. I mean, if you saying that we got pictures of it, they gonna have to come with another talking point, because it sounds like the flat Earth theory is moot. As a legal term, a courtroom term. They argument is moot at this point. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's pointless. So, switching gears a little bit, I ain't really too worried about okay. Have you noticed how the liberals are or whatnot? We always talk about, we know they game or whatnot. They hypocrites. The Democrats was pushing the civil rights movement or whatnot. And a lot of the civil rights movement started from when them 6 girls got killed in, what was that, Alabama, Mississippi, in that church. That's where that rule came from, that Don Lemon wasn't allowed to go into them churches and do that or whatnot.
Wow.
Because it all started. Now don't hang me. Don't crack the whip on me if I might be off on a couple of my little points or whatnot with that. But from my understanding, that's where a lot of that came from. Is when them girls got killed in that church when they set fire to it or whatnot.
Yeah, that's what William III said. That it came from that church bombing.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the FACE Act, the one where you're not supposed to protest outside of abortion clinics or churches or something, which was a new law. But interesting.
Yeah, so back in the day, I'm a little bit up on my history or whatnot. So back in the day, even before that, the problem is why they started that with saying that the KKK couldn't do that is because they were like blacks. That's where they would go to try to learn that back in the day, is at these churches. And that's where they get a lot of the black community would get a lot of their resources. So the KKK would try to intimidate them from going to them churches by doing that type of stuff that Don Lemon is doing or whatnot. Like basically intimidating them or whatnot. And basically they would catch them on the way to church and be harassing them and trying to beat them up and stuff like, and that's where a lot of that gang stuff comes to. They would go in gangs. When you would go to church, it would be groups of them. They would never walk alone type. So they would be in groups of people and they would go into the church or whatnot to make sure they didn't get jumped by the KKK.
Wow.
So it's just very hypocritical what Don Lemon is doing or whatnot, which it ain't hypocritical. It falls in line because he's a devil. And it should be clear to everybody that clear to see that you got a lesbian, the other chick that he be talking to. You should.
Is that what she is? The one that black female who says I'm a reverend and she's a protester, the church protester gal.
I wouldn't doubt it because she ain't playing for our team. She ain't rolling with God if she's no reverend or whatnot.
Yeah.
And we know he is switch hitter. So it ain't no big secret what team he playing on, and it's the Devil's team. You can look at his sexual morality and figure that out. You see what I'm saying? And I don't see too much really happening to him. I don't see nothing, but he might get a slap on the wrist. I don't see nothing coming out of this.
Me neither.
Or whatnot. And I'm just flabbergasted at all this fraud. I feel like dang near fraud right now is like the new crackdown on drugs. You see what I'm saying? Like how they in the 80s and the 70s, they was trying to like allegedly crack down on the drugs or whatnot. And I feel like that's what the fraud is right now. Because you can't just tell me, this started from back in 2016 or whatnot.
Yeah.
All this money been disappearing or whatnot. Some of these certain people, let's use Nancy Pelosi as an example or whatnot. Yeah, Ilhan Omar. And it's a whole bunch of them. We just seeing the ones that they putting in front of us or whatnot. And I just can't get past that. And a question to Mark or whatnot is that, you know, I get a lot about what he be saying. You know, I get what he be saying or whatnot, but it's kind of hard to be, you know, talk all this yin yang about the blacks and whatnot, because as much as he might not know or he do or he don't, we ain't lazy and we do work and pay taxes. So that scamming and that fraud or whatnot is hurting us. And I'm just going to say, if it's going on and we seeing it like this right now, I can imagine how long and how serious that it has been since. I mean, let's say back since 2000 and earlier than that. So I mean, and I'm not. I get it.
I would say probably ever since they've been having this illegal immigration problem. You know,
preach.
Because think about a type of culture that would come and stay here illegally in masses, like the Hispanics have been doing.
A thief?
Yeah, disproportionately Mexican. That is a corrupt culture that's allowed corruption and enabled and kind of okayed corruption and crime and dishonesty, and you know, hiding in the shadows, if you will, being criminal.
Yeah.
And and in your experience and in my experience, we've dealt with thieves and liars and backstabbers among those people. And so, of course, it's happening, and it's been happening since the 80s. Remember when the year I was born, or maybe 83? Yeah. Remember Reagan did that amnesty and allowed a bunch of them to stay? What a mess.
Yeah.
And so those people have been here and pulling shenanigans.
Taken from the economy, taken from American citizens.
Yeah.
And then you end up turning around, you get people that want to talk about, not you, but your other caller, he always want to talk about the flat earth. And it go back to one of the comments or whatnot. That's what happens in the schools when you've been subverting and taking money from American citizens and you ain't been properly educating them the right way, because you've been putting these DEI people in these positions instead of the people that's supposed to be in the positions, because you can't afford to put them in that position, the teachers in that position, because you've been funding and giving money to all these illegals since back in the 80s or whatnot.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
And it was something else I was about to say or whatnot too. Nah, I'm trying to think. Nah, I was just saying, so even with the Hake, I'm like this. Like I'm an accountability type of guy or whatnot.
Okay.
That I take and understand where my fault is. You know, I'm gonna hold myself accountable 90% more than I'm gonna hold you 10% accountable. You see what I'm saying? Because as a man, I have control of my own destiny. You see what I'm saying? But I kind of think it's awfully kind of hard when you taking money from people, white and blacks or whatnot, and they already been put up in a messed up situation, and then you give them the bare minimum, and then you think they supposed to be high IQ, or they supposed to be functioning and be able to function in society legally or whatnot when they've been getting scammed. You, me, you see what I'm saying? Basically saying that you get what you pay for. You see it? You kind of follow me?
I sort of follow you.
I'm basically saying that Hake, that all right. I'm gonna try to make this story short and simple.
Okay.
I had a friend or whatnot. Man, we was in elementary school. His name was Pookie Doo or whatnot. That was his real street. It was his little hood name.
Okay.
I couldn't figure it out for the life of me when I was on the bus and they'd be saying his name.
How do you spell it? Do you know?
Man, I have no idea. I'm a D- student. I have no idea.
I knew it was a mistake to ask.
you should have knew that, man. You know I'm black, man, too.
Yeah.
So long story short, elementary school, I'm on the bus. He kicking the back of my seat. Bam, 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 boom.
Wow.
He was a fat dude. He was fat as heck, kicking the back of me and my sister's seat, man. So I was like, hey, man, chill out. Kicking my seat. He talked to his friend in his seat, like, oh, this mother freaker getting smart with me. We gonna see about him when we get off the bus. I'm like, dang, man, I'm out there to fight this big old dude, man. So I'm nervous. Bam, 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 boom. Long story short, I don't know what happened. Didn't end up fighting him. He ended up being my best friend.
Wow.
He had an older brother, whatnot, that was my brother's friend. His older brother ended up getting killed or whatnot. So keep in mind that Pookie Doo, he was like a rebellious kid. Both their dads wasn't in the house. They had separate dads or whatnot. Both their dads wasn't in the house. So his mom couldn't do nothing with Pookie Doo because Pookie Doo had a temper. She'd take out the trash and clean this up. He would talk back to her. So his big brother would line him up like, man, bro, get your big butt in the house and clean up the da-da-da. So now keep in mind, so everything all cool. So when his brother died, Pookie Doo ended up going down this road to where he was, I think Pookie Doo was like smoking weed at like 15, 14. He just went all the way down. So I seen him like 3-4 years ago. He strung out on drugs.
Wow.
So I go to say that, and a lot of it came because I seen it. When his brother died, he was never the same. And I ain't never been the same ever since his brother died because it affected all of us and whatnot. And I go to say that when you ain't got no resources in these black neighborhoods where some of them is already having hard times pulling themselves up or whatnot, and you taking in subverting money that you could have been putting into programs, anything that you could have been doing to help the black and these white communities, or because that ain't something that only happens in the black community or whatnot, that you setting them up to be in a criminal democratic prison of pipeline like Columbus is. They ain't got nothing up here to do for you to sell drugs and end up going in and out of jail so you can support the Democratic Party. You see what I'm saying? Instead of them having steel workers jobs and hard manly jobs that make you man up, they got all these social type of jobs, these female nursing type of jobs. It's feminine. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's basically like a doom loop. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a doom loop. And I just go to say that where's America headed at, Hake? You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta remember, if you keep taking or whatnot, and you ain't investing or whatnot, let's say your car is gonna be broke down.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You can have you can have a 2026 new car, but if you ain't taking and investing money into keeping it up or whatnot, it's going to be messed up in about a year. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But go ahead. I'll catch you later. I just want to drop that a little bit or whatnot. I ain't trying to ramble too much on you.
Well, thank you for the story, man. That's an interesting point about the black people being the black people at the bottom and the white people at the bottom of society in the messed up family situations being hurt first and foremost affected by the immigrants.
It's that
competition.
Yeah, go ahead.
By the competition with the illegals and the immigrants.
Yeah.
What a mess.
You ain't taking and putting nothing back in these neighborhoods for them to have. And I'm not saying, oh, let's set up a recreation center so they can go shoot basketball and play football. No, I'm saying manly stuff. Setting these people up for stuff in the future. You see what I'm saying? We ain't on that. Oh, they don't got enough time to go, so there ain't no pools in the neighborhood, man. Forget all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
What are we doing about building financial stability for that next generation coming up? See, that's what the liberals want to talk. They ain't got nothing to do. That's why the crime is up so much. Nah, we ain't talking about that. We talking about getting the family back together.
Yeah. And
we talking about putting stuff in these neighborhoods to where they ain't got to be, because that's what they always want to make us be, is basketball or singers or whatnot. Put stuff in the neighborhoods to where we are able to build financial wealth legally, but they don't got that in these democratic areas. God bless you, Hake. I'll catch you later. I'll call you back.
Thank you, Art. Take care.
Yep.
Bye. Mark in Los Angeles, California. Mark, thank you for calling and holding, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I agree with, I like Art as a caller, Artie Art.
Yeah.
Just to answer him, though, actually, he mentioned that black people pay into taxes and contributing like that. But if you really look at the numbers, the black people in America take more from the government than they put in through taxes.
I've heard that because of all the services that they take, not to mention the crime and stuff. Right.
Well, yeah, that costs society money, too.
Big time.
With the large number of black inmates, male and female, that's a burden on the state. Besides welfare and food stamps, and I'm not saying there aren't white people on it, but proportionate per capita.
Right. Black people
take way more than they give in. So, I think Art means well, but I think he needs to look at the numbers.
I think he just means individually. Let's say that he's no longer doing the felony stuff or taking welfare or anything like that. He's working and paying taxes, and there are individuals like him who are getting hurt by the immigration and the fraud and stuff. I think that I'm not thinking that he's thinking that most blacks are contributors necessarily.
Well, yeah, but he mentioned me, and he wanted me to take notice that they do contribute, and I guess they do to a point. But and I don't think we should forget that even though they're Somalis, they're still black. Those are still black people.
I know there was an evil young black woman who was a Somali, and she said Somalis don't just eat bananas and rice. Something like. Did you see that clip? And she said, I'm Somali, but I'm also black. I experience racism.
Yeah,
so evil.
That's their key word.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, do you know that she was arrested about a week later?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they showed her. She got arrested with about a dozen other idiots for demonstrating against ICE. I think she was at the hotel protest where they were hassling the hotel where the ICE agents were staying.
Oh.
She was in a gang of criminals that were, trying to keep up the ICE agents. And I saw the ICE agents were just looking down, laughing at them.
Interesting.
So, another thing I wanted to say to your audience, for those who are Christians and pray, keep ICE agents in your prayers.
Yeah.
And, prayers work. I believe in prayer. And I think if enough of us pray, those ICE agents are going to be okay. I don't pray for the protesters. I don't pray for the illegal aliens. They're not praying to my God. If they're living as fugitives and criminals from justice, I'm talking about the illegals, that's not a Christian thing to do. And for the protesters, the ones that aren't paid, the ones that are there because they hate the white man, their God isn't my God. Their God is Satan. And what's really sad, what's really eye-opening, when they broke into the church, and it looks like Lemon may walk. I know he's under indictment. That until I see a conviction, I'm not going to get my hopes up. But when they attack a Christian church, that tells you who they are. You know, the white supremacists don't attack churches. Maybe you could say 150 years ago with that Ku Klux Klan Act, which I don't think they're going to use it against Lemon. They're going to get him on the FACE Act. But, you know, white right-wingers don't attack churches that I know of.
Right.
I mean, if you go back, they accused J.B. Stoner of bombing a church. It was an empty dwelling. He says he didn't do it. I believe him. But he did go to prison for that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, 99% of right-wing white supremacists will not harass people going to church. It shows who the demons really are in our society. The same people that fought for the civil rights movement are the same people fighting to keep illegal immigrants here. It's a ploy, and I don't have to tell you. I know I'm preaching to the audience, but it's a ploy to get votes. That's all it is. Did you see what happened in Spain?
No.
They gave amnesty to 500,000 Negroes from sub-Saharan Africa and North Africa. Most of them are Muslims. Most of them hate whites. They're useless. They're totally useless as members of society. And they're only and they even admitted this. I think his name is Sanchez. I could be wrong in the name. You know, somebody will check me on that, I'm sure. But whatever the guy's name is, I think it's Pedro Sanchez. He basically admitted we gave amnesty to 500,000 illegals for their votes. They're not even hiding it in communist Spain. I'm surprised you didn't hear about that.
So
yeah,
I'm looking at like headlines from like the far left Guardian. It's like a gift from God. Undocumented foreign workers welcome Spanish. Hold on. Welcome Spanish amnesty. 500,000 migrants will be regularized under plans to boost economic growth that have angered right-wing parties. And is he one of the amnesty guys? That's crazy, man. No, you're fine. Mohammed Elashi Alam runs an association in Madrid that helps illegal workers. Oh, okay, so whatever. Undocumented.
And I mean, they absolutely bring nothing to that country. They offer nothing. Look where they left. Look at the condition of the nations that they left. And that's what they're bringing to Spain. They're poisoning Ireland. They've already totally saturated Paris. Even our once proud German brothers have been overrun by these criminals. And Merkel, if you remember her, the female president a few years ago, she's the one that orchestrated the invasion in Germany. The only safe countries are Poland and Hungary in Europe, and those are Eastern European countries. I don't like Russia, but Russia's a primarily white country, and that's why the left hates Russia.
Stay close to your phone. I don't know what something went muffled. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Russia. It could be a base for the white, nationalists, because it's primarily white. They don't allow for too much that I know of any colored immigration. They're against the LGBT thing, but it is still, unfortunately, probably a corrupt nation, and it wouldn't be safe as a white nationalist to go there. Not at this time, anyway. But what's left of the white world is dwindling, and who knows if the Democrats in this country take power. I think they're going to reverse all the good that Trump did and even go after people that supported him. I'm not worried about it personally, but I think they want to jail or kill all Trump supporters. If you listen to their TikTok videos that they put out, they advocate for them.
Right.
And I don't know, why is TikTok not going after these people or taking them off, or the FBI going after them to put them in jail? I guess they did put a few of them in jail.
Maybe there's too many of them. It's kind of like, how people are allowed to like slander en masse. All of the media companies slandered. Remember George Zimmerman? Everybody was slandering him as racist and lying about him. And since there's so many, like, how are you gonna? What, you're gonna sue everybody if it's become like the norm? I don't know.
I don't know
It
about
feels like the threats, the left wing threats and hatred and malice and murder that they speak is just normal. It's par for the course now.
There was a nurse last week. I don't know where at in America. She put out a very evil, vile, anti-white, anti-ICE, anti-Trump video.
Yeah.
And she got fired. You know, there are people on our side that are
Right.
monitoring these monsters.
Yeah.
And when they find out who they are, they'll contact the job, at least get them fired.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. This Pretti guy, this priest that got brought to justice in Minneapolis, he was a nurse. He supposedly was a male nurse. I don't know why. I mean, somebody on Anchor Baby's show asked me what I thought about him working in a veterans hospital.
It's a veterans.
Yeah, I think it's dangerous for the vets to have a creep like him working amongst them.
Yeah.
But it's scary. You know, in South Africa, where I'm told by our friend Ardeen, there's no genocide going on when there is.
Yeah.
It's not even safe, from what I've heard, for white people to go to the emergency room hospitals.
Wow.
A lot of the black workers just don't want to help them, or they'll sabotage them. You know, when we become a minority, this is what's to be expected. It's not going to be paradise.
Yeah.
Also, I'm hearing Trump's talking about maybe taking over Cuba. He's in talks with Cuba now. Is Castro dead? You know, I'm behind the times on that. Has Fidel Castro died?
Yeah, Fidel Castro, I believe he died a long time ago, right?
I don't know. What about his brother Raul?
Raul is alive, I think.
Is he running the country?
I think so. Let's see. He is a Cuban retired politician and general. So who's running Cuba now?
Probably a woman, probably a communist kind of woman.
It says Miguel Diaz-Canel, primary leader running Cuba as of early 2026. Since 2021 was the first secretary of the Communist Party of Cuba. President of the Republic since 2019, succeeding Raul Castro as the first leader not from the Castro family since the 1959 revolution. Per Google AI, if that's accurate.
Right. You know, Venezuela, according to the Trump administration, was basically keeping the Cuban communist government on its feet. They were supplying them with oil and probably some money. They were keeping the Cubans going, but now that they're gone, there's a hope that Cuba will fall. And I do have my differences with Marco Rubio, but I think he would be good if they could install him as president. I'll use the word install because Castro came into power by a revolution. That's an installment. Also, for the record, if the audience didn't know, or maybe if you didn't know, under Batista, the ruler of Cuba before Castro, they segregated the beaches. They racially segregated the beaches. So Batista wasn't all bad. You know, he was considered right wing, but he was sort of a authoritarian person. Yeah. But I think, of course, I can't say it on your air. They had a slogan for him. He may be a son of a bee, but he's our son of a bee.
Nice.
Was, you know, what they said back in the 50s. But Castro was like a secret communist when he came into power. Ed Sullivan, I don't know, you probably don't remember the Ed Sullivan show.
Vaguely.
It used to be a variety show on Sunday nights. That's when we had 3 networks and everybody watched. He had Castro on his show and put his arm around him and said he was the George Washington of Cuba.
Wow.
And then, and a short time later, Castro admitted he was a communist. Eleanor Roosevelt, the wife of the former president, I think she was a communist.
Is that FDR's?
Yes.
Okay, wife.
Yes. Yeah, Eleanor.
Wow.
She was very pro Castro, very pro communist.
Typical communist.
You know, the commies have been in our government long before the 60s even. They were infiltrating our colleges and our government as far probably right after World War II. Because again, after Hitler was defeated, they became emboldened to try to take power in other parts of the world, and the U.S. Was no exception. If you remember the McCarthy hearings of the 50s, they were exposing communists in the government.
Wow.
And the bad thing, though, was that when King came around, and he was pro-commie if he wasn't one himself, the conservative right wing at that time were afraid to label King a communist because of what had happened during the McCarthy era. It kind of gave the right wing a bad name. Not that they did anything wrong,
right?
But the media tried to slant it against McCarthy and other conservatives who were going after these communists that were in our government. And so the people were afraid to call King what he was because, it was too close to having been the so-called Red Scare.
Right.
The Red Scare was just a term used to paralyze or silence any anti-communist of that era.
Yeah.
Are you familiar at all with the John Birch Society?
A little bit. I think JLP used to speak to them sometimes or something.
Yeah, they had a book, None Dare Call It a Conspiracy. And it basically breaks, I know I'm not supposed to give book names. Sorry about that. But it basically breaks down what the commies planned to take this country over. They had some good speakers, the Birch Society did. They did allow blacks and Jews membership, but they were very pro-segregation in the South. Rockwell didn't like them, and they didn't like him because he made a monkey out of him of the Birchers on many, many occasions.
That's funny.
But, he was the real McCoy.
It's kind of like the Tea Parties. It reminds me of the Tea Partiers who were, remember the Tea Partiers would kick out anybody who had like a Confederate flag or Nazi type stuff because they just assumed that they were like Democrat plants, or in general, they kind of like were anti-racist, but supposedly conservative.
Yeah, well, they had to play that game.
Yeah.
I know. I mean,
for some people, they truly believe in what they're being anti-racist. Like because they think that all racism is hatred. Yeah, JLP was a member as well as a speaker for John Birch Society. Yeah,
back in the 70s, we would go to the Birch meetings with our paper. If I'm allowed to give the name of the paper, it's no longer in existence.
Was it like a Nazi, sort of neo-Nazi type paper? But people would call it that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the paper's name was the Thunderbolt. You can Google it. They don't exist
I've heard
anymore.
of that.
Yeah, that we would pass out our paper at their meetings, and man, we got a lot of recruits.
Right.
The John Birch Society, their meetings were a good place to pick up members.
That's funny.
So the membership of the Birchers was a mixed bag.
Right.
But some of the individual members were great people.
Yeah.
It was a man by the name of Robert Welsh that was the leader, and he was from Concord, Massachusetts, but they had a big chapter in Orange County and in San Marino. San Marino was
beautiful.
West
San
Coast.
Marino. Wow.
Yeah, that was the West Coast headquarters for the Birchers. Now it's practically all Asian, city of San Marino.
Right.
It's not what it used to be, like everything else. Just think about it. I'll let you go here in a minute. Think about what it's going to be like if things continue to go the way they are in 100 years. The white race will have been evaporated, and civilization everywhere will have collapsed. Because I think once the coloreds take over the United States and bankrupt us, that's going to destroy the whole world economically, and it'll just fall. Everything's going to fall into chaos. That's my prediction.
Yeah, it's bad. It's rough. Thank you, sir. Appreciate hearing from you.
That's all I got. Thanks, Hake. Have a good one.
You too. Take care. The John Birch Society, American right-wing political advocacy group, founded in 1958. Anti-communist, supports conservatism, associated with so-called ultra-conservative, radical right, far right, right-wing, populist, and right-wing libertarian ideas per the far left Wikipedia. Okay, I want to read a few super chats, or several. Coffees. Cesar. Sup, Hake? You know when you troll us by saying it's chest day, but you're referring to something else, should be considered a crime. Seriously, buddy? Laughing face with tears coming out. What are you, allergic to working out, man? LOL. Laughing out loud. Lots of laughs out loud. When I refer to it as chest day, I'm referring to, oh, yeah, by the way, on Rumble, Catch American Anchor, baby. But also on Rumble, I got a super chat. What the heck? Never mind. I'll pull it up. I'm referring to DLive. On DLive.tv, we open the treasure chest. Or do I? And sometimes even that is fake news because I forget to open the treasure chest, and we call it Chest Day. Obama's sunken chest, because Obama was about redistribution of wealth. He was a socialist. Oh man, I'm running out of time. Anyway, yeah. No, I exercise. I don't call it working out. We've been over this. I do like push-ups, like 10. Anyway, Rob in NorCal lost all credibility when I heard him say he lets his kids draw on his door. No offense, dude. Everybody's hammering Rob in NorCal. I think Rob in NorCal agrees with everything else that I say in terms of the politics, and he just has a disagreement about the flat earth, and so that's what he's into talking about. So one trick pony, Rob in NorCal, and he doesn't have a lot of time to call in, you know. So he only calls in about flat earth, whereas you guys are able to take the time, so one way or another, to call in. The only FE person I like these days is Robert from Kansas. FE being flat earth. Sure, he's a little silly, but also sounds a bit convincing. He's very high IQ. He is indeed. Today's temp in South Florida was below freezing. Whoosh. I don't believe I've ever seen that before in my life. Frozen emoji. Yes, let's make sure to have an awesome week, folks. Strong tan arm, thumbs up, okay sign, celebration, Dominican coloring. Popcorn's thump keg. Let me just call it popcorn. I have a buddy who lives with other races of people, housemates, if you will. If he were to say, it's time for the races to divide, but has no plans to move, what would that be called? Hypocrisy? Do as I say, not as I do? Moral inconsistency? Virtue signaling? You go first? It's a heck of a thing to see in action. I say that when you see what people themselves do in their own lives, use that as the barometer for what they actually believe, not what they say. Says Popcorn. Interesting. Barbecue Pringle. I bet half of gringo Americans, that's white Americans or foreigner Americans, I forget what gringo means, want an ape-free half of the country, and half of the gringos that like apes so much can live. I think he's using the ape word terribly. I disclaim it. Or maybe even disavow it. But Barbecue Pringle says, to live with all the apes, meaning sort of like animal-like behavior. Plus, apes will get rid of all their non-loyalists. That's equality and fairness. What a mess. Yeah. It's kind of like Trump talking about not breaking down the... not going in unless asked to deal with the riots. And there was a Rumble rant or two or more from Jules and Commander Kim. Commander Kim says, Hake, please put tariffs on these 3-page super chats. Praying, thanks, hands emoji. They are longer than a 9th grade essay. What's up, essay? I agree. We need to put a tariff on those things, but they do pay their dues, but they are long as heck, as Hake. And Jules Verne says illegal aliens are counted towards population size, which gives states more electoral votes and political power, which is why Dems like illegals, kind of like how reminds me of how the slave states wanted their slaves to be counted in the populace. Adios, America. Peace in the Middle East. or at least in your hearts. Bye.